busy US 1. Now, wasn't that a whole lot better coming down Card Sound Road and County Road 905? Right there, look at that, no traffic. And then US 1, look at that. So I guess this is what we got to experience more or less for the next 8 days, including today. We're in the north part of Key Largo. As I get down here a little bit further, I'll take some pictures of it. Not a whole lot here right now. Alright, welcome to Key Largo. Yes sirree, Key Largo. Boats for sale, anyone? So still going through the northern part of Key Largo. That's something unique that I haven't seen before. I've seen cars up on things like that at car dealerships. Huh. Speaking of cars, a bunch of cars here. They have no for sale signs on there, but I wonder if that's what they are. Here's a pretty sight. How'd you like to live along here, huh? Besides the noise. And you can just get a peek over here. That would be the Gulf side of the Keys. Over there would be the Atlantic. Here's something I've been wanting to show you. The addresses along this highway here all the way down to Key West, with the exception of Marathon, they're different for whatever reason. They correspond to the mile marker. So, for instance, Key West is mile marker 0, right? And then coming up the Keys to the mainland, it gets higher and higher. So we're at mile marker 103 and some change. And I'm supposing the last 3 numbers will probably correspond to... Yeah, see, here's another one. Last 3 numbers will correspond to where you are in that mile marker. So only have 103.3 miles to go to Key West. But as you recall me telling you before, I think it was way back in Michigan that I was telling you this, is that I would use the mile markers on the side of the highways to measure what my pace is. And you know, I went into that whole long discussion about how, yeah, it could grain on you, you know, if you keep focusing on the number and, oh, I'm only a mile down, oh, I'm only another mile down. But if you erase all of that and just use it as a measuring stick, and then turn off the concept of time between mile markers, and it becomes easy, and it actually becomes kind of a something to look forward to on each mile marker to see what your pace has been. But now that I've learned about the mile markers on the mailboxes, so when I go by them now, you know, 103.7, 103.700, 103.400, 103.300. Now I wonder if that's going to get in my head. Well, let's find out and see, huh? Well, here's one of those nothing happens by chance type of things. I was walking by this John Pennekamp State Park, and I had looked it up before, and it was naturally all full. All the campgrounds are full. And so anyway, I walked by here, and I figured, I'll just walk in anyway. And guess what? There was an open site. So instead of trying to find a stealth camp, the two that were in this immediate vicinity didn't look like they were the greatest anyway. There was one like another mile or so up ahead, and it was just tucked away in some bushes. And then there was another one that was, I forget, but it didn't look too promising. So, you know, I'll just hold up here. This was a 12-mile day, and I'll try and make 18 miles tomorrow. Howdy. And then that'll put me in for, I think 18 miles. That'll put me in for about 12 and a half miles, the final, 6 days, because tomorrow is day number 7. So John Pennekamp State Park. And it turns out last night, where I camped in the old Nike missile base, now part of that area was, like I mentioned, a nature preserve, and it's managed by this state park. And the sign there said you had to get a permit, but I just talked to these people here, and they said, oh, you don't need a permit anymore. And yes, I could have camped down at the beach for free, so that would have been nice. Well, anyway, it was nice where I was, because I actually got a little rain last night, and I was under those trees, so that mitigated it quite a bit. All right, nothing happens by chance. John Pennekamp State Park, $43 had to pay. Let's go see what it looks like. Looks like they got a little food truck cafe, they call it, over there. And they have a marina. You can rent some kayaks and canoes. Don't think I have any time to do that. Water looks inviting, doesn't it? How about that? I'm getting out earlier. Yeah, I can't even talk. 7:15. I wonder if that's a record. It was a nice little campsite. Well, you know, a typical campsite with RVs and camper trucks and all that back there. So I just tucked into a site. Had to put up the tent because of the bugs, but oh well. Now my goal today is to try to squeeze out 19 miles because there's a vacant lot over in Islamorada that Jason told me about, so that's what I'm gonna try for. If not, then my secondary goal is a park, or right next to a park, that's 15 miles. Let's see what happens, huh? Look at this nice sunset. Sunset? No, that's a sunrise. Sun rises in the east and sets in the west. It's really quiet here too. I thought people in campgrounds got up early. I guess they don't. It's nice and quiet for a second. There's a gap in the traffic because there's a school bus up there that's got its lights flashing to stop everyone, so it's been kind of nice the past 30 seconds or so. But now here comes the onslaught. Oh. It's always interesting when you're in a different region to see what stores are the big ones, and depending upon, you know, what the area is, what kind of opportunities there are. You see different stores. Look at that one, Divers Direct. Where you live, have you ever seen a big store devoted to diving? Well, Highway 1 is split up here. Just back about a mile, it's split into two. One section going this way and then the other one over there going that way. It's remarkable what a difference the relative silence makes in making this, this is still Key Largo, but it makes it feel more community-esque, if there's such a word, you know. More of that laid-back feeling that you often hear of when you're when you hear of the Florida Keys. Of course, you probably don't get the sense right now with the traffic going by, but you do get that feeling. Here's a pretty little tree I haven't seen before. Look at that. Not only does it have the red and yellow on it, same one also has the purple. Would you happen to know what kind of tree this is? It's really interesting. Huh. And speaking of trees and flowers and bushes and all that sort of stuff, now what kind of tree is this one? With that kind of flower on it. Well, just stopped here at this church. There's a sign out front right here. It said, well, it's right there. It says food pantry, so thought I would stop by here. What was your name again?
What's that?
What's your first name?
Franklin.
Franklin.
Yep.
Stopped here with Franklin. He's been we've been walking together the past couple hours
6
or so.
miles, yep.
Yeah.
We got some oranges, got some donuts, some milk. Yep, we got some stuff.
Yeah. So thank you to the Burton Memorial
United
Methodist Church. Definitely doing a good thing, and prayers for you and all that sort of stuff. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Got the Atlantic Ocean out there. And now coming up to Islamorada. Islamorada. Just came off of Tavernier Key. Nice green water. There's Franklin up ahead. And still got the highway noise. Can you hear that? So take a look at these orchids growing right on the tree here. Now you may say that you didn't know that orchids were parasites, but orchids are not parasites. What did you call orchids? What's that? I know, but they're not parasites, they're called?
No, they're epiphytes.
Epiphytes.
Epiphytes, yeah. They live on the surface, generally a plant.
Okay.
Spanish moss is the exact same thing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. You've got it from Franklin, the environmental scientist.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big fan of plants. I'm almost part botanist, thanks to my passion for plants.
All right. But this is very nice grounds here. This is the church here in Islamorada. Pretty nice gardens here. San Pedro Catholic Church. Oh, yes, hello. Thanks for letting us stop at your picnic bench. See you later. Okay, now we're heading to the fire station in Islamorada. We're going to meet Jason. Jason's the one that gave me some tips on where to camp on the way down here, so we're going to go say hello and thanks a lot. Now, how does that look, huh? And would you like to have this place as a campsite? Well, guess what? It is! Look at this campsite, huh? It's almost one of those perfect spots. Right by the water. Got a big bush to be blocking the wind last night. Excuse me. Had a little bit of rain, but not much. But right there, had a nice sunset. Maybe I'll stick around here. But special thanks anyway to you know who you are, putting this camp out. I was going to camp over a couple miles down on a vacant lot over on the other side that was just going to be in a bunch of bushes. So this one turned out to be pretty good. Hear the lapping of the water all night. Yeah. So let's see what we find tonight, huh? Gonna go down to channel 5, I think. And no, that's not on your TV. Gonna go down to channel 5 and probably camp there at the end of the bridge. See what's going on. So are you hungry? Yeah, you like shrimp? That'd take you a while to eat, right? Huh? Lobster, okay. You like lobster? Yeah. Lobster tail anyway? That'd be the Atlantic side over there. Kind of a pretty place here. Been going along this fence line. Pretty fancy schmancy. Well, if you like your coffee, and it has to be Starbucks, you better stop here in Islamorada, because it's the last Starbucks for 80 miles. Well, say hello to the Atlantic Ocean. Look at that nice blue water, huh? And coming up here to Upper Matacumba Key, just right up here on the other side of the bridge. I think it's still considered Islamorada as far as the village goes. Say hi.
Would you like a shark tooth necklace?
No, but this is your lucky day. So his lucky day, he's found 2 necklaces, and he also found a $100 bill on the side of the road.
Oh no, it's my lucky day. I think blue is your color.
You know, coming by these places is always it's quite interesting to see the different stuff that they've got out here. You know, catering to the tourists and stuff, but still it's nice and pretty and colorful. This is just a little roadside shop here, a little cut of land, and Upper Matacumbi Key, still the village of Islamorada. The Shell Shack. Not the Shell Shock, but the Shell Shack. Just had a nice treat. Got to have breakfast there with Jason at the, what was it called? Mangrove Mines?
Mangrove Mines.
Yeah. And so, thank you very much, Jason. And he's actually the assistant fire chief here. So, when you're coming through Islamorada, slow down, drive defensively, and when
Boat safely.
Yep. Boat safely, that's right. And when you pass the fire station, give a toot and say, "Hey, Jason, how you doing?" So everyone,
It's been a good time.
say goodbye to Franklin. We're parting ways.
Sadly.
Yeah.
But who knows? I might see him later down the trail.
That's right. He's heading down Key West. He's gonna hitch a ride or get a
For all I
bus.
know, he'll get there first.
Yeah, you know. And he's coming up. He might still see me when I'm going down. So
That's right.
it's been a lot of fun. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike.
Happy trails.
Yeah, I can't wait to see your videos, and I can't wait to see you complete this mission. All right.
Thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure.
Well, what an appropriate place to have split up. Midway Cafe, 80 miles to Miami. Key West, 80 miles. I guess technically if you're going into the center, to the southernmost point of Key West, it's about 80 miles. It's a little bit shorter if you're just measuring by way of the central part. So halfway down, halfway to go. The end is near, or is it? We're gonna find out and see, right? Okay, I've got something to show you here, and if you want the opportunity, call on yours truly, because I can help represent you on that, okay? Would you like to buy your own island? Yes, sirree. Where are we here? 15.5 acres. But if you don't want to buy an island and you're just curious as to what it costs, if you want to look it up, there's the phone number, there's the website address. If you can look it up and put it down in the comments, what the amenities are and what it costs, I'd appreciate it. But if you do want to buy an island, give me a call. Well, if you ever want to look at what mangroves look like up close and personal, here you are from the inland side. Look at that big tangled mess of stuff, huh? With the water just being right out there. Really interesting ecosystem. Huh. Yeah, let's continue on. You know, even though I have the noise walking down here, I've been kind of short-circuiting with the way the watercolor has been changing, the different colors, the different hues. Look at that, water on either side of me. I still am in a place called Lower Pennekamp Key. Lower Pennekamp Key, I think I'm just past mile marker 79. Which is kind of another short circuit type of feeling, you know. After what? Almost 2,200 miles. I've got 79 miles to go. And the funny thing is, people keep asking me, well, how do you feel? You know, you're almost at the end. And I kind of give them comparisons of what it feels like right now versus what it felt like on the first trip. And on the first trip, I've been telling people that during about the last month and a half of that trip, I got really reflective and introspective. And maybe even a touch of, I don't know, is melancholy the word I want to use? And then when I got to the end of that trip, as soon as I touched the ocean, and for a number of days thereafter, it felt just kind of like a discombobulation, so to speak, you know, just like a fish out of water. And on this one, it's more of a quiet type of feeling. It's kind of different. I don't have a sense of, I don't know if I feel a sense of completion or if it's just a sense of matter of fact. I'm not getting the message as what, if anything, comes next. Although you guys have given me some ideas. So I'll keep pushing along, see what happens here at the end. But right now, this water is, I guess, helping me reflect a little bit, so that I can just stare at it and not really have to think. And just enjoy the beauty of it all, huh? Very nice. Well, you'd never think of this looking at that. That's an 11-acre island. In the 1500s, Indians were living there. Fast forward, and then later on it became a haven for pirates. And then fast forward to 1836, that was the original county seat of Dade County. How about that? Had about 30 houses on there. There was a U.S. post office, a U.S. tropical plant company. Just over this way a little bit, when we get to it, was another key, actually Lower Pennekamp. I told you I was on that, I lied. That was Upper Pennekamp that I was on. But over here on Lower Pennekamp, the Spaniards used it for a time as a jumping off point for places they were going around here. It had some waterfalls actually on it. But who would have thunk though, yeah? Dade County, original county seat in 1836, was sitting off the Keys of Florida on an 11-acre island. Huh. We're at mile marker 77 and change, I think. So if you're looking on your map, that's where it is. Well, I've always been hearing about this, but I've never come across it until now. At least I haven't noticed it. What is it, you ask? Well, I'll give you a clue. Poisonwood. I hear it's got a sap that really, it's worse than poison ivy. And poison oak. Doesn't really look like I heard from the description. Now I really have to be on the lookout for it. Poisonwood. Sounds so ominous, doesn't it? For those of you old enough to remember this TV show and the song that goes with it? That's right, 77 Sunset Strip, starring Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. And for another trivia question, after that show was over, what did Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. star in? What series after that? I'll give you a hint with this music. Well, it doesn't look like much, does it? Or maybe it does with the gates. This is for sale. And get this. It's only $13.9 million. And the one next door, it's only 3.5. Such a bargain. And that's a vacant lot too. So I guess it's expensive around here. But this would be the kind of view that they have, except over from this side. Not bad. I guess the only drawback though is you do get a whole bunch of traffic noise. Well, something that's kind of nondescript right here, but there's a lot of history. Right here, in fact, just up there where these palm trees are, back in 1928, I believe it was, the road, remember Flagler's railroad already came through here, but a driving road was built and it came up to here, and then cars would get on a ferry right over here where the green fence is, which currently is a Sea Scout base. They'd get on the ferry and ride the ferry 40 miles, marathon, up that way. And then they would take another ferry, they'd drive across that key, and they'd take another ferry to get into Key West. And then eventually in 1936, I believe, they completed all the bridges and the road. And right here is where the cars would stop, and they would, it was a toll road from here. And so the cars would stop here, and they collected $1 per car and driver, and then 15 cents per each additional passenger. And then eventually, I think it was in 1956 or 1958, they got rid of all the tolls. So you could just drive all the way. So a pretty interesting bit of history. We're on Lower Matacumbe Key, getting ready to go over Channel 2 Bridge, which is up this way a bit. I'm headed to a place called Ann's Beach, and I may or may not stop there depending upon if I think I can get away with stealth camping. If not, I might walk another couple miles to, it's kind of a little spit of land where the bridge dips back down towards the water and then continues on. So we'll see. But anyway, a little bit of history right here on Lower Pennekamp Key, where the ferry used to be, and then the toll road started. And then eventually it was a straight shot into Key West. Alright, well, I've committed myself. Got 2.7 miles. It's 7:58. Sun sets at 6:29. And dusk lasts until 6:58. So it's cutting it close, wouldn't you say? But my goal is, let's see if I can show it to you. Right out there, a little spit of land that the bridge touches before it goes back out across the water. Now you may be saying, well, wait a minute, what about that one that's so close? Well, it's a private island. So let's see what we can do here. By the way, the Atlantic side and Bay side. Did I tell you this, why they call it Bay side instead of Gulf side? Because this is officially, even though it's part of Gulf of Mexico, it's called the Florida Bay. So that's why. Bay side, ocean side, straight ahead side. Oh, and you may be asking me, well, why are you doing this? Cutting it so close? Well, because, I mean, I think I could find a spot back there. But this extra 2.7 miles sets me up for tomorrow. Instead of having a 20-mile day, I'd have a 17.7-mile day. And I'm trying to, if they'll let me do it, camp at a church up there in Marathon. And so that's why. I don't think 20 miles would be good for me, especially all this pavement walking. So that's why I'm doing it. Cutting it close, cutting it close, cutting it close. Wow, take a look at that. That house looks like it was blasted during Hurricane Irma. That was 2017. Never came back. Pretty good lot though. Looks like they're living in it with a camper. Huh. Wow. That'd be a pretty spot to stay in. Early morning sunrise, look at that. Yeah, I'm up this early. 6:15. Nice, another nice spot. Well, sort of nice. Just right off the side of the road here. Actually back there tucked in the trees to keep me protected from the wind. It's actually pretty strong last night. The spot I was going to go was right here, but wind was just blowing straight on, so headed on into the bushes here. Found a semi comfortable spot and listened to the lullaby of the cars going by. So that was the bay side, and this is the ocean side. You may be asking, well, wait a minute, why isn't the sun coming up over the ocean? Well, it's because we've changed direction, so east now actually is out that way. I know it gets me all turned around. But as long as I find the road, follow the road, it's the only thing I can follow, I'll be all set. 19 miles today if I can do it. Although now I got something going on with my left ankle. Oh boy. Welcome to the city of Layton. And I learned something new here. You can swim in the canals, but you can't harvest lobster and stone crab because they're sanctuaries. But what I learned was you can swim in the canals, but you can't snorkel or dive, because if you snorkel or dive, you're required to put out a dive flag. And boaters are supposed to steer clear of a dive flag by 100 feet, but the canals are only 50 feet wide. So that's why you're not allowed to snorkel or dive in the canals in Layton. Learn something new every day. How about that? But take a look at this. It looks like today's the day to be walking, huh? Passing up all the cars. Getting up to the bridge that's going to go over and touch Duck Key, and then over to Vaca Key, and then eventually into Marathon. So I guess they're doing some sort of work up on the bridge there. I suppose it's not going to be a problem walking across. Soon find out. Yeah, this is pretty nice. I have my own dedicated bridge. And when you think of driving down the Keys and seeing those bridges and stuff, isn't this what you kind of picture? You know, the bridge going right over the water for miles and miles. This one's about 3 miles long. Tomorrow we're going over the 7-mile bridge. But not only do you get the prettiness on this side, you get it over on this side too. Look at that. Not bad, huh? But then again, when you're thinking of the Keys and the old rail line back in the 30s, that's probably what you're thinking of, right? That causeway right there. Yeah. Actually, I do now think that I got an idea what to do after this. What do you think I should do? Stay tuned.